Good morning, guys. Just getting started here. Not seeing too much in terms of a consistent delivery. That's kind of in line with this week. Just going to move over here quickly to the daily. The daily, this is possibly an order block forming, which would mean if we close below here, we could see price continue to move lower. The next area to search for if we were to close below here and close below here would be this down here. We're going to move up to the weekly quickly. On the weekly, we had a doji last week. Right here, we were close to a doji until this morning. If we close below this, this would make an inside candle or an inside week and could possibly become an order block. So the way that we close today is likely going to determine how we trade moving forward for the next weeks, month or so. Just going to take a look at the monthly. On the monthly, we're drawing down as well. So we're just going to come back over to the daily or the intraday. So far on the intraday, not too much going on. This was last night. During the day yesterday, I was expecting for us to take this out, but we kind of consolidated for the back half of the day, so about 12 o'clock until about 4. Got this candle right here, and then let's see, at 10 o'clock p.m. During the Asia session, we took out yesterday's low. So we've traded back into it now, and since trading back into it, we've kind of been sideways, but in a say pretty volatile manner. I don't really like to use that word, but I'm going to use that word right now because the back and forth here contains pretty large candles. Unlike this here, these candles are pretty small. So kind of a tighter spot right now. And we're going to look for something that we can trust on the 5 minute. I'm going to drop down to the 15-second here just to show you guys that that's not very clean. Here's a 15-second here. So we can see we had a pretty solid delivery here. And since then, it's been pretty gnarly. Outside of this delivery, I mean, if you go here, there's nothing that's really seeking buy side or sell side on the longer term. If you look at this right here, all of this is inside of this high and this low, with the exception of this low taking out this, and this was a relative equal low. There's another one further over to the left, but we're not going to go all the way back. I'm just dropping down here in the 15 to give you guys an idea of what we're looking at right now. So we're going to stick with the 5. I don't necessarily, I don't enjoy this environment for taking a trade with a full lot size. We'll see if our candles become similar to the size of these ones here. If we're trading in candles that are similar to these, then I'll consider larger lot size. But for now, if we keep getting candles this large, I think I'm most likely just going to use a single contract on this leader account here. So that's pretty much that. Might sit here kind of silent until we actually see something that we can use. There's no use in really talking over this if we're not getting PA that is going to deliver. So you can see we were stuck in this all day yesterday, stuck in this most of last night, and now we're stuck in this. So I don't know. Gun to my head, my thought would be, although we drop down here and we're going sideways, my thought would be that we are accumulating to move lower, especially considering on Friday we got this quick move up in the last 50-minute macro. Then we moved up another 450 handles in 2 days and then quickly rebalanced that coming into this new week opening gap. And then yesterday closing it and now trading below it. My thought, gun to my head, would be that we're accumulating so that we can move lower and distribute down here. That doesn't mean that we're gonna go lower today, but my thought would be longer term, we're looking for lower prices. So we can see here, even on the 15-minute, this is pretty gnarly. Move up to the 1 hour. The 1 hour is, so the 1 hour is cleaner over here. You can see on this delivery, it's much cleaner. Right here, it's nasty. This was pretty clean on the 1 hour as well. And if you look at where we are right now, it's pretty sideways. Even right here. So last couple weeks, sideways for the most part. This was the best delivery we got. And then this part of Wednesday was the best delivery we've seen. And that's on a 1 hour basis. So on the lower time frames, it's obviously going to look much worse. This 4 hour doesn't look bad at all. Okay. And this is the 1 minute right here. Kind of scrunched up because we aren't really going anywhere. I can't really do anything about that without repositioning this here, which is the main screen that we're trading with. So just got to deal with this being sideways here. And we do have news at 10, data report, consumer sentiment, which is orange folder. So we'll see what that delivery gives us. Um, I would think that delivery just takes us lower. So if you, it's kind of tough because if you asked me around here, maybe around 8, 9 o'clock, what we would do once we get that news at 10 o'clock, I would say we'd continue lower. But seeing all this back and forth price action right here, not really certain. I believe we're going to choose a direction once we get that 10 o'clock data. So this candle here is about 50 handles. This candle here is 60. This one here is about 45. This one's massive. This is an 80 handle candle. So very volatile in here. That would allow us to take trades on the 15 second, but they would be like 45-second trades, maybe 3 minute trades. And I don't really want to engage in that right now. So we're going to come over to the 5. Stick with that. Cause tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. What I do like right now is that all 3 indices are in sync, and that's before this data even comes out. I think that's great. Because if these stay in sync, we can kind of trust what price starts to do. But if we get this data and 1 or 2 of the indices start moving up while another is going down, I'll tell you that we're probably going to be riding rockily, like back and forth for a bit until they start to converge again. So another 40 seconds before this 10 o'clock data. So I think more important than watching what price is doing right now is watching these here to see if any of the indices diverge from the others. Coming back to the 15-second. Take a look at this here. See if we respect this. I do want to stay on the 5, but I want to see if this is respected. Because if it isn't, we're going to move up to the 5. I want to see if we respect the midpoint here. we if we do respect the midpoint here and don't come through it, we can expect to see price start to run lower pretty quickly. If this is negated, then we have to watch for this one. Okay, so negated. And if we go through this one, I'm going to move back up to the 5 because it looks like right now the 15-second isn't the cleanest. Okay, so going to go back up to the 5. Remaining a bit inefficient there. And look at the 1 minute over here. Just nasty. Hmm. So the last 50 seconds of this candle is going to be pretty important. I think it'll probably give us the most movement outside of that first minute of delivery. Now, if this like jams up right here, we're likely going to be in some tough conditions for a little bit. Oh, that wasn't bad. But still not very clean. They can continue moving lower, but as long as it's moving like this, I have no interest in engaging price. Still don't like this. So we're gonna move up to the 5. We'll just hang out on the 5. I think we'll see if we get an order block or something. It's fine if we continue lower, but I'm not enjoying the delivery on the lower time frames here. So we can see that NQ is outpacing towards sell side. So we're just gonna come over here to show where I'd be seeking, or where I think price would be seeking. So I think the next stop would be right down here in this area, the 662.50 area. And after that, I'd look for 602.50. I think we have enough. I think we have plenty of room to run lower here. But I'm gonna wait and see if we get anything on the 5 minute that allows a trustworthy entry. 723.25. So does seem that now we're moving much quicker than the 5 minute would allow for entry, which is unfortunate because up here on the 5 minute we weren't really going anywhere, but as soon as we started moving, we started moving. We were pretty messy on the 15 second here, and then as soon as we got this order block, we just moved. So unfortunate, wrong time frame. But we'll see if the 15 slows down. So just looking at this candle in relation to this one, seems like we might slow down a little bit or get retracement. Maybe pull down here a little bit, retrace. But from this point on, it was pretty low resistance liquidity run. It's pretty high resistance right here. So wasn't at all expecting it to be lower resistance. Seems like the other indices are finally starting to catch up. So NQ was outpacing for a while. Seemed to slow down a little bit, and ES and YM are starting to catch up to it there. Want to see if price respects the midpoint here. Looks like we're discovering price a bit. So we want to watch these next 50 seconds here. It's the last 50 on the 5-minute candle. So it'll tell us whether or not we're gonna retrace and get an order block, or if we're going to draw lower and take out the 2662 level. So currently watching to see if we respect this midpoint. I don't think we will, which would negate this as an order block. So we'd have to use the next highest. Let's jump up to the 5. All right, so I'm gonna jump up to the 5. So unfortunately missed that entry because I was using the 5 minute due to this being so volatile, I guess, back and forth. But when we took off here, we took off on the 15 second. I would have wanted to use an order block, which we don't have here after that 10 o'clock data. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to take an entry. At this point, I'm gonna stay on the 5 and see if I get anything presented. But we're pretty close to taking out this 602 level down here, so likely that we don't take anything unless I see an order block or something on the 5 minute. But these are pretty clean, just down candles on the 5, so nothing that I would have trusted taking coming out of this. And we took out that 662 level also. So possibly forming an order block on the 5. Taking a look at the 15. Fairly low resistance from here to about here. So 120 handles low resistance run on the 15-second. Just analyzing this real quick. So if we take out that 602 level, I'm gonna close up stream because there isn't anything that I really care to seek outside of that. I think outside of that, it's a reach. And I'm not trying to take trades this far into discount. So if we clear that, I'm gonna close up stream. Looks like we're right there. So we should take it out on this candle here. Should get a strong push that goes below it. Say maybe into like 590 or something. And then probably see a quick bounce back up before deciding what we'll do after that. So if this doesn't turn high resistance here, we should run right through the 602 level here. It's turning a little higher resistance there, so It's a little higher resistance here on the 15-second. Now that we're near there. So what I'm expecting is for us to jam through it again, maybe to about 19,590. We'll have a pretty strong push, and then um price will most likely like get a little bounce up, but I'm not really sure we can trust that once we get it. So we just dug into it. I would have expected to dig in a little bit further there, but we did just take it out. So give it about another 2 minutes just to see how price reacts now that it's taken that out. And I'll close up stream from there. So there's that push I was looking for. So we should see a little bit stronger of a bounce than this. I think up into this area. And if we don't get that, that means price is pretty pretty strong on the downside. So I would trust that it would continue going lower if we don't see like a little bit of a push up in here now that we took out this 602 level. So let's watch this candle here. This one or the very next one should give us a bigger move. All right. So that's it for me for the day. I'm closing this up. Probably not going to take any trades today. Um, Judging by the way that we ran for this 602 level, pressed through it and are now like kind of bouncing, but not super strong. I would say we might hang out in this area for a while, or we may see some movement, but I don't think we're really going to see delivery to a major buy side or sell side after this. So I'd say trade on higher time frames. I'd say stick to the 5, maybe the 1, but I think at this point, now that we've run that out, I'd say stick to the 5 if you want to be safe and not be stopped out. But hope you guys learned something. That's it for me. Be safe. Good luck.